Thank you so much, Robin, and thank you, Brian, for your kind words. Everybody go easy on me. This is my first time doing this. I'll try not to let you down. Have you heard the one about the two Democrats and the Republican that walked into a bar in Belltown? Let me tell you, two Democrats and a Republican walked into a bar in Belltown. They ordered a pitcher of beer, and they sat down at a table and they started talking politics. They didn't agree on anything, but they listened to each other and they tried as hard as they could to understand where each other was coming from. At the end of that pitcher of beer, they still didn't agree on just about anything, but they understood each other a little bit better. And they respected that each person at that table wanted the community to be better. They just saw a different way of getting there. And they paid for their beer and they left the best of friends. It shouldn't be funny. It shouldn't be funny, but it is funny because it doesn't happen anymore. Before I booked this event here at Buckley's, I approached a different bar in Magnolia and asked them if they would let me host my campaign kickoff event at their bar. And before I could tell him anything about me or my ideas or what party I belong to or anything else, he said, no. If it's political, I don't want it in my bar. And I asked him, why not? And he said, politics is toxic. And if I host a political event in my establishment, I make myself a target for boycotts or vandalism or worse. And as much as I'd like your business, I will not let you have your political event in my bar. And I was disappointed, but I understood. As a business owner, I understood exactly where he was coming from. And a week later, I approached him again with a different idea. I wanted to host a conversation about homelessness and bring in people involved in nonprofits, people working hard on the issue of homelessness to talk to the community about different ways that we could get involved and different ways that we could help our homeless neighbors. And again, he told me no. He said the issue of homelessness has become so politicized that he had the same concerns that he had about my kickoff event. I could not talk about homelessness in this bar because he was afraid that if we talked about the wrong solutions to homelessness, that he would become a target. Sadly, his fears aren't really misplaced. This is the climate that we live in today. Politics is broken. It's toxic. Competing ideas have turned into battles between people. And beating the other guys has become the measure of victory, not improving people's lives. That is wrong. But we're stuck in it. We use ideology to otherize other people, people who disagree with us. We assume without even talking to them that they're part of the problem, that they're one of them. And in today's society, being one of them is the worst thing you could be. If you're one of them, you don't get a place at the table. Your concerns aren't respected or considered. You don't have a voice. This otherization is tearing our community apart. It leads us to use zero-sum politics that Robin talked about. Zero-sum politics where for us to win, they have to lose. And there's always some they that we're ready to sacrifice for the greater good. But zero-sum politics doesn't work. It leads to alienation, resentment, frustration, and a deepening division in our community. It feels like nobody is speaking for us. I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. Look around this room. Everybody, seriously, look around the room. What do you see? People. Somebody said people. We see people. I see people. I see Democrats and Republicans and libertarians and independents. I see progressives and conservatives and socialists and anarchists. Don't be afraid. Where is the them? Where is the them in this room? It's obvious that there is no them unless we make one. It's a choice in our neighborhoods, in our city, in our state, just like in this room. We have to choose to create a them to blame, a them to be the foil to our hero, a them to harm in order to help those who we decide need the benefit. It's not real. It's a lie. And we can stop right now, starting in this room, and carrying it out into our neighborhoods and into our city and into our state and maybe eventually into the world. We don't agree on the issues. And that's okay. Maybe we never will agree on some issues. But we can work together, united in the belief, in the conviction that there is no them. There is only us. And we're all in this together. The policies that we adopt as a community affect all of us. And here's the secret. We all want the same thing. We all want the same thing. We want a happier, healthier, more prosperous community with greater opportunities for everyone. We all want that. It doesn't matter what label we put next to our name or what label somebody else might put on us. That's what we want. And when we realize that we have the same hopes and dreams for our children and for our community and for our world, then our differences over policy are no longer so threatening. They're no longer so scary. We can use our differences to find a better version of the truth, to find a better approach, a more effective approach, a more compassionate approach to the problems that we share together as a community. Now, this movement is about much more than the issues. And as you've heard, I haven't really mentioned an issue because this concept of there is no them underlies everything. If we can get that, if we can start from a place of common cause, wanting a better community, then we can start to talk about the issues. And in this movement, in this campaign, I will be talking about the issues, particularly 3 issues that are very important to me and are interrelated, and they're homelessness, drug addiction, and property crime. These 3 issues are ravaging our community right now. And there's a lot of disagreement about it. And that disagreement is all in the context of us versus them.